In this lesson, we going to see group by class. Okay, so group by class is nothing but we going to perform aggregate functions like whatever the function we have seen in the previous lesson, like a sum, min, modify, sorry, sum, min, max, median. Okay, so all those functions we're going to give here, but additionally we're going to add a group by class. Here we're going to see in depth about this. So here see, first I'm executing the query like this: select first name, salary, department ID from employees. So I'm fetching the three column from my employee table. It's showing like this. Next, what I did is select department ID for each department. Okay, I have different type of a department. Department ID 90 and department ID 60 and department ID 100 and 30 and some department ID having a null value and department ID 50. So I have so many departments here. For each department ID, actually by using the group by class, I am going to sum up their salary according to the department ID. For example, see, for department ID 10 alone means the summation of the salary is 4,400. For department ID 20, you can take these two rows and sum up this two salary. Okay. So for the department ID 20, the summation of the salary is the addition of these two, 19,000. Right? 13,000 plus 6,000 is 19,000. Likewise, I am going to add for add the all the salary with respective to the department. So now I am going to execute the query. See here, for department ID 100, this is a summation of the salary, and for department ID 30, this is a summation of the salary. In order to see your result in a proper way, you can also include order by class, order by department underscore ID. Here see, for department ID 10, the summation is 4,400. For department ID 20, this the value is seen before, right? 19,000. So it will take all the rows who having the department ID 20 and it will sum up all the salaries and show the result. So this is what the group by class. Okay. And the next one is, see this query, select department ID, sum of salary as total underscore salary from employees. Okay. Next here I have used where class, where department ID in 60 and 70. So here what I going to do here is, for department ID 60 and 90 alone, please sum up their salary with respect to their department ID and show me the result. This is what I am going to execute here. See, for department ID 60, the summation of the salary is 28,800. For department ID 90, the summation of the salary is 34,000. So what does it mean is, I am sum upping all their salaries with respective to their department ID. But in the where class, I have included these two department ID only, right? That's why these two department ID alone it's coming. This is a use of the group by class. So in up to this example, in the group by class, we have given only one column after the group by, right? Now we're going to see group by class with two columns. See here, select department ID, job ID, sum of salary. Okay, this is my alias name as total salary from employees, group by department ID and job ID. So what does it mean is, I am grouping by two columns. First I will execute the query, then I will explain. Here also, for proper display of output, I can use order by class. Okay, for department ID 10, okay, for the job ID AD assist, I have the summation of the salary 4,400. And for department ID 20, I have two different job ID. So it what happened means it will take this job ID for the department ID for these two combination, okay, it will sum up their salary. For example, you can see this employee table here. Department ID. You can arrange the department ID. Okay. And then you can arrange a department ID like this. Okay. So for department ID 10, the summation of the salary is 4,400. For department ID 20, okay, it is not coming 19,000 in our result, right? Instead of that, it is showing 13,000 and 6,000 because these two rows having the different job ID. Because in my group I class I have mentioned job ID, right? So job ID depending upon the department ID and job ID, it will sum up their salary. So it will sum up their salary based upon this combination. Okay. For you can take for another department ID 30. For department ID 30, you have these many rows, right? Okay, for department ID 30, how many different job ID is there? PU underscore man and PU underscore clerk. So for PU underscore man is 11,000 is a summation of the salary because I have only one row. And for PU underscore clerk, I have these many rows. Then what Oracle will do is it will sum up these salaries, okay, and give you as a result. Okay, so under the department ID 30, I may get two rows in my output. For PU underscore man, it's showing 11,000, it will show 11,000. And for PU underscore clerk, it will sum up all their salary, okay, then it will show you in your result. See here, PU underscore man, it's showing 11,000 and PU underscore clerk 13,900 is nothing but where this value is coming. It is coming from the summation of these 5 rows. Okay. So for each combination of department ID and job ID, it will sum up their salary and give you as a result. This is what the group by class with 2 columns. Okay. Next thing is a having class. Having class is nothing but it is used to filter the rows, okay, after our grouping. Suppose here see we perform the grouping operation right here. Now how many rows we have in our result? 21 rows. Among this is the grouping result only, okay, because after grouping I have used the group by class here. So after I'm running the whole query, so this whole query only producing this result. So this is what the grouping result. So I need some filtration after my grouping means I can able to add having class. If I need to filter after my group by class means I can able to use having class. So because where class will not support after the group by class, that's why I am going to use having class here. So here having the job ID in the same query only I have written here. Select department ID, job ID, sum of salary, the same thing only. Okay. But at last I just included having job ID in IT program and financial account. So these two job ID alone will display in my output. Among this output, this particular job ID alone will get displayed. See here. So after grouping your result, you need some filtration means you can use this having class. So please be remember having class will always come after the group by or before the group by, that I am going to explain in the next query. So here see, select department ID, job ID, the same result only. Okay, what is the difference between this query and this query is nothing but I have included the order by class. That's the only change. Suppose you need to include some order by means, please always put this order by class at last of your select query. Don't give in between your select query. If you give this order by class in between your select query means it won't execute. Okay, now see, it is performing the order by department ID. If you give descending order, your department ID will come in descending order. Next thing, okay, these are the important notes you need to keep in mind. Okay, this is very useful tips for OCA exam. The first point is we cannot use the alias name in the group by class. Okay, so for example, see the query, select department ID, job ID, sum of salary. Okay, next here I have given total of salary from employees. So here instead of department ID, for the department ID column I am going to give the alias name like this, depth ID. Either you can give uppercase or in lowercase, that's not your problem. Okay, Oracle will execute. So here instead of department ID I am going to give like this. Okay, instead of giving my original column name I am going to give here alias name. So this alias name I am giving here. Now see whether is executing or not. It's not executing. It's showing the ID is an invalid identifier. Why means in the group by class you can't able to put alias name. So I need to change my query. I have to give my original column name here. Instead of a column name, if you use any concatenation operation or anything, please give the same as it is in the group by class. Okay, so in the group by class, one more thing you need to remember is nothing but, see here for the department ID in your select list, see how many column I am fetching, department ID and job ID and sum of salary. 3 columns I am fetching here, right, in my select list. So among these 3 columns you have to identify how many normal column is there and how many aggregate column is there. What is normal column and aggregate column? Normal column is nothing but it does not contain any aggregate function like a sum, count, min or max. If in your select list, if some column you have included sum, min, max, like that means then that should be an aggregate column. So here department ID I didn't use any grouping function, so this is a normal column and this is nothing but alias name. And here see job ID, in job ID column also I didn't include any grouping function, so job ID is also a normal column, but the third column I have used grouping function called sum, so the third column is a grouping column. So whenever you see in your select list some column having a grouping function and some column is act like a normal column means you must have to include that normal column in the group by class. That is the rule. Suppose if you missed job ID means your query will not execute. It will throw an error, not a group by expression, because you not included all the normal column in your group by class. Just check how many normal column in your select list, put all the normal column in your group by classes also. Okay, that's an important point you need to remember. So whenever you face this type of an error, please see in your query, just ensure that you are given all the normal columns in the group by class or not. Okay, now the next thing is we cannot use a var class before the group by class. Yes, so for example, see select department ID sum and sum of salary as total salary from employees, group by department ID, and after the group by I have used a var class. So after the group by, I can't able to use a where class. Suppose if you execute this query, it will throw an error. So please be sure where class will always come before the group by class only. Okay. Now the next thing, having class can be used before the group by class, but it's not a good way to write a code like this, but Oracle will execute the query. What does it mean is, having class you can give before the group by class or after the group by class, but mostly developers will put that having class after the group by class only. But here also it will execute. Suppose if I execute the query, it execute correctly only for the each department ID. It's giving the summation of the salary. Okay. Now, but you can also include cut this, okay, and put the having class after the group by class. It will show the same result. Okay, so it's not your problem, but this is the best way. Always use a having class after the group by class. Okay. And the next thing is, in the having class you can also use aggregate function. Okay, you can also use normal condition like this, else you can also use aggregate function, the sum function and all, it will come. So what I given here is, I'm just fetching department ID and job ID and sum of salary as total salary from employees, group by department ID. Okay, for these combination, department ID and job ID combination, I am sum upping all their salary. Okay, then here I am going to retrieve the summation of the salary is greater than 10,000. First, just see excluding the having class and see the result. Okay, for each department ID and the job ID, I am getting their respective summation of the salary. Okay. Next thing is, just I need some filtration. Okay, here it's showing the list of salaries. That's fine. Now, but here I need to display the salary which is greater than 10,000. So after grouping, I am expecting the filtration. So that's why I have used like this, having sum of salary is greater than 10,000. So you can see the salary which is greater than 10,000 only here. Okay, so what does it mean is, you can also use aggregate function in the having class. This is what this example is implies. So in this section, okay, we have studied what is a group by class and having class. And in the previous lesson, we studied what is sum, min, max, average, count, functions and all. Okay. So this is what this multiple row function, it is very easy topic and very easy to understand the concept. So do some practices and attend my quizzes, okay, to get expert in this area. Okay, we will see in next video.